and welcome to the game of the week from District 6 Stadium in Greeley, Colorado. Tonight it's 3A conference action as the 2-1 Skyview Wolverines battle with the 2-1 hometown Northridge Grizzlies. Mike Ray along with Dean Popejoy, Dan Diaz, and Warren Ray bringing it to you. Good to have you along. It is our opening game of the season, but of course we are now 3 games into the league. Good to have you along, of course, as always. Tonight could be a table setter game for both teams as they look to stay close in their respective leagues. Oddly enough, both the teams scored over 40 points in their respective wins last week, and both teams lost in their first week, and both teams won by a margin of 6 points in the second week. Both teams are fairly even as far as total yards of offense coming into tonight, but there is a stark difference, literally, in their offensive schemes. We're going to be talking about that. It's going to be Northridge in their navy blue, of course, trimmed with red and, of course, white pants tonight. And it will be the Skyview Wolverines in the blue pants, white and silver helmets. We're just about ready to get underway. It is a rainy night here at District 6 Stadium. We're hoping that the rain will subside, and it is slightly a drizzle, but earlier, of course, we were getting a fairly good downpour. The nice thing is, if you've been around Greeley for a number of years, as we have been, traditionally this had been a grass field, but now it is a turf field, and of course much easier in sense that easier to play on, easier to dry it off, and we're expecting it to be clear skies here probably within the next 30 to 40 minutes. So we're still waiting to get underway here as far as the game is concerned. We're not sure exactly what the officials are up to, but it looks like there is a slight delay, and it's not because of the rain. We are assuming it has to do with technical difficulties in regards to the game management. The main difference tonight will be the style of offense. As we alluded to, the Wolverines go to the air. Really, that is their bread and butter. They like to go to the air and then set up the run, versus the Grizzlies offensively tend to run more and set up the pass. Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it, out of Denver? So we'll compare the numbers here shortly. And again, on a rainy night, as we are experiencing already here, time of possession will be the keys to victory. We'll give a slight nod to the Northridge Grizzlies, who primarily are a running team, and they should technically, numbers-wise, have the edge. The offensive line will be the key to keeping the running game going. For the Wolverines defensively, really the key of tonight's game will be to plug the gaps. Obviously, with the Grizzlies coming in with a very good running game, the linebackers and the defensive backs for the Wolverines will really have to play a very important role tonight in trying to block the offensive line. So again, you can see the coach for the Wolverines now having a discussion. We're still waiting to get underway here. The time now here in Greeley is right at 7 o'clock, so they're trying to hit the mark perfectly, and the game time temperature is about 57 degrees. And you can see when you look up into the lights, traditionally, that'll tell you what kind of storm we're having, and right now it is starting to come down fairly heavily. But the good news is there is no lightning, so there won't be any delays. Usually when you see any sporting events, whether it's football or baseball, not only in college and, of course, in the pro sports, high school, they monitor that very, very closely. So we do not have any electrics in the sky here tonight, so we will be getting underway here shortly. Defensively, the Northridge Grizzlies will need to put pressure on the Wolverines quarterback. Again, keep in mind, this is a very air attack type of format that you will see here from the Wolverines tonight. The key will be is to flush him out of the pocket, but be aware that containment will be very important on scrambles, because the quarterback here for the Wolverines does do that very well. So again, limiting the amount of yardage and field is really going to be the key here for the defense. Defensive backs will need to play it tight against a very good air attack, and watch again to not draw too many flags to give really good field position here for the Wolverines. So we are set to go here from District 6 Stadium. It is the Wolverines of Skyview against the Grizzlies of Northridge here in Greeley. Good to have you along. Almost sounds like a war chant that we're hearing here from the from the Wolverines. One of the longest starts that we've ever seen. We've got a drone close to us. You can see the shift. Grizzlies not going to be fooled by this one. Again, keep in mind, both teams coming in at 2-1, both on the 3A conference, but in different leagues. Kick going to be taken going back to the end zone, and it will be back on the 20-yard line to begin the ball game. Good to have you along. It is the first game of the week here for Rad 247 Sports. Again, special thanks to Warren Ray, taking all the time to come in from Metro State to set us up here this evening. He is our producer. He's been with us here for all 6 years and hopefully for another 6 years. We'll give you here the starting lineups. Pretty much what we have here tonight is the offensive lineup card. We'll give you that here for the Northridge Grizzlies. It's going to be number 4, Daniel Granados. He is the wideout. He's the 5'11 junior at 175. Israel Kampa, number 5. No surprise, handoff going left side. Going to run for about 3 to 4 yards. That'll bring up second down. Aaron Ness is the tight end. He is a junior at 6'1 and 220, number 9. Patrick Diem is the running back. He is a 6-foot junior at 185. He is number 10. Hayden Rose, number 23, the other wideout. He's a senior at 6 feet and 185. On the front line, number 55, it's Nolan Steckel. He is a senior at 5'9", 205. Handoff. You can see a scramble for the ball. Good defense by the Wolverines, plugging up the holes, doing exactly what they're going to need to do to slow down the running attack. Loss of about a half a yard. That brings up third down. Luis Castro is one of the linemen. He is the 5'10 junior at 220. He's number 62. Parker Steckel, number 67. He's a freshman, 5'9", 185. Bubba Hernandez, number 75, on the line. And it's Dalton Campbell, number 77, 6 feet, 215. There's the handoff, going to go right side, trying to cut the corner. Nice opening, going to go down the sideline and hit out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And that's exactly what we were talking about, Northridge. You can see that ball control. And it's Daniel Granados with the big run and getting the first down. 10:32 left here in the first quarter. Good to have you along. District 6 Stadium. Last night it was Greeley West going down to defeat. We'll give you some numbers of other ball games and what's coming up in the leagues surrounding the area. So it's first down, ball on the 42-yard line. There's the pitch left side. Looking for the block. There's the cut. Going to get about 2 yards on the play. That'll bring up second down. So far, so good. We're seeing here with the Grizzlies getting the big play when they needed it. And that was a huge play on the run going on the right side. We'll give you some comparison numbers here momentarily on what the Grizzlies have brought to the table here tonight in regards to their running attack. Second down, 7 yards to go, ball on the 45-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle, met quickly, getting back barely to the line of scrimmage. Very similar to what we saw in the last series, where you can see the Wolverines plugging up the holes. That's the prescription. But really, you can see their weakness, if you will, early in this ball game is the runs to the outside. So watch out for the jet sweeps there as far as going right side and left side. Most likely we will see the Grizzlies looking to work off the left and right tackles to try to go off rather than going over the center. So far it has not been successful early in this ball game. So Israel Kampa, one of the leaders in the league at quarterback here for the Grizzlies. Looking pass, got a man on the corner, immediately met after the catch. So the Wolverines doing a good job of containment. That's going to bring up fourth down. Coming into tonight, the Grizzlies averaged 232 yards rushing. That's huge for high school, compared to Skyview at 110 yards rushing. Really, the key, as we mentioned, you'll see Northridge coming in averaging 88 yards a game passing and 161 yards for Skyview. So we'll see what kind of quarterback they have. Flag on the play, somebody moving on the line. We'll see which side it is. So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. We'll see where that takes it. The offense coming back on the field. So that might be enough here for the first down. Looks like the offense trotting back on the field. So it's going to be a little bit short. And so they do give them the first down. So Northridge taking advantage of a penalty flag here. We'll see if they can convert. Now the ball sitting on the 47-yard line of the Wolverines. You can watch a rewind or a rebroadcast of this as much as you like on Rad 247 Sports. Just go to our YouTube channel, and guess what? It's absolutely free. We never charge. Handoff. Nice hole, but quickly smothered. Very quick defensive line that we're seeing here for the Wolverines. So Skyview and it's Heiser in on the tackle. Really, you look at the size of the players, both teams fairly even as far as height and weight. Really no standouts. Really, Giovanni Gonzalez for Skyview, who does not start, is at 240, but pretty much everybody around 220 or less. So this should be really a lot quicker on the offense and defensive line. Handoff up the middle. Banging for about a yard, maybe two. So it's going to bring up third down. So critical play here for the Grizzlies. As we mentioned, ball control with this rain will make a huge difference, and this will really kind of fall into the Grizzlies' game plan. Just keep that ball running. It's a lot harder to tackle on a wet surface as well. Third down, ball 7 yards to go, ball on the 44-yard line. Handoff left side and smothered quickly. Good defense again by the Wolverines. So Guevara, number 33 for Skyview, in on the tackle. Ben at 6'2", 235. He's the DN here for the Wolverines. So the Wolverines now with an opportunity here, shutting down the opportunity that was provided for the Grizzlies on the penalty flag. So back to receive. Oh, there's the fake play. Going to try to go for the first down. Not a bad idea, but going to come up short about 2 yards on the fake kick. So it's going to be the Wolverines' ball, and it'll be sitting on the 40-yard line. So for the Wolverines, their starting lineup on the offense, it's going to be Jesus Ortiz, number 3. He's the wideout. He's a senior at 5'5", 145. Number 4, Deshaun Gallegos, the quarterback. He is a junior at 5'11", 145. Number 6, Jabri Berry. He is the wideout. He's a junior at 5'7". Oh, nice cut up the middle. Got a hole, going to head towards the house. Nobody going to catch him, and it should be a touchdown. No flags. So the Wolverines with a big hole and the opening run, and it's now 6-0. Skyview on top. So you could see that hole developing quickly. Some missed tackles in the secondary on a nice cutback, and it was all she wrote. Really, the secondary was sucked going to the right side, thinking the play was going to be there. But the presence of mind on the run, on the cutback, and you could see the result was 6. So into kick for the Wolverines, it should be Brandon Gutierrez. High snap. We'll see if that makes a difference in the game. So the Grizzlies will have an opportunity. 5:58 left here in the first quarter. Good to have you along. It is the game of the week here from District 6 Stadium. Welcome back to District 6 Stadium, and it was a great cutback, all set up by a very good block on the offensive line for Skyview, and led to the big run. Literally, it was about a 44-yard gallop, and they have 6 on the board, but you could see the high snap, and they were not able to get the extra point. Again, that could be the difference possibly in this ball game when you have the rain still coming down as it is. There we are. As we saw in the first kickoff earlier, the disguise on the play. We'll see if Northridge, who put up over 40 points, in fact 43 last week, can answer here quickly. As we mentioned, both teams putting scores up in the 40s. Hit going to be taken at about the 15-yard line. Banging way through, going to be taken down at about the 30. Nice play by Northridge. Good field position. So it's going to be Rodriguez on the return. So an opportunity here for Northridge. Northridge now with 5:52 left here in the first quarter. Rain starting to steadily come down now. We'll see if that will affect the tackles. It gets very slippery. Again, there's no mud out on this field. So passing will be a key if you're going to go with pass plays, to go for the short plays, usually on the dump off. There's a handoff going left side, looking for that corner. The defense stringing it out and doing a good job. It was Reese Pratt's on the run. He's the freshman at 5'7", 140, being taken down. Good defensive play and a loss on the play. It brings up 2nd and 11. Ball sitting on the 30-yard line. So far, we've seen the Wolverines really fulfilling that mascot name, very tenacious in the trenches and on the defensive line. So far, doing a good job of reading the offensive line schemes. Looking pass. Got a man open. Let's see if he's able to bring it in. Nice defensive breakup at the last second. Literally getting the hand up on the play. So a good defensive play by the Wolverines. Granados was open, almost had a shot at that, but again, just at the last second getting a hand was Brandon Gutierrez. Still remains 3rd down and 11. We'll see what kind of a rabbit is pulled out of the hat here by Jeremy Hayden, who has taken over duties here at Northridge. You think about over the last few years, Northridge has been in the playoffs for several years here in the 3A conference. We're going to talk about conferences in a minute. Being chased and a big loss on the play. Wolverines coming up with some big defensive plays, and really setting that up was the defensive charge on the front line. That was all front line, and the secondary doing a good job as far as coverage. Really nowhere to go with the pass. That brings up 4th down and a huge chunk, about 22 for the first. So Northridge is forced to punt. Back to receive is Isaac Madrid, number 16, also plays wide out and cornerback. He is a junior, actually a senior at 6 feet, 185. So a little bit of movement on the offensive line, going to push it back 5 here for Northridge. Not really the start that they would want in this game, but nonetheless, the key here is to have a short memory. But it'll be very important that they stop the charge here for the Wolverines, who've only seen one play here for the Wolverines this evening. It was one big run. It's going to take a basic Wolverine bounce. The ball will be stopped on the 50-yard line. Again, we want to thank the sponsors for tonight, Express Employment Professionals at 2711 West 10th Street here in Greeley. If you're looking for long-term jobs ranging from $15 up to $35 an hour, call Express for an appointment. You can reach them 8 to 5 Monday through Friday at 970-353-8430. So it's going to be first down. Wolverines with an opportunity. Flags flying. It's going to be movement. It's going to be a false start on the Wolverines. We'll see if that helps the Wolverines here. Last time we saw a flag, it was against the Wolverines. We thought maybe that would be an opportunity here. Movement, and they didn't call it. It looked a little bit like Northridge was offsides. But a good defensive play on the smother. And it was Brian Guevara tackled here. He's the running back for the Wolverines. He is also a senior at 6'2" and 235. So they're trying to run some power up the middle. Loss on the play. That brings up 2nd and 16. So a great opportunity here for Northridge. If they can hold him here, getting back in time, and it looks like they are going to call the penalty. Now that's odd because the defender was able to get back, but apparently not in time. Look, almost like a quick trigger there by the Stripes. So that moves it back 5, and that brings up 2nd and 11. So a little bit of anxiousness trying to anticipate. And again, another movement. This may be the offensive line now moving. This almost feels like a movie that we're seeing here, one of these comedy movies in football. Kind of sounds like The Replacements, if you ever saw that movie with Keanu Reeves, where they just couldn't, the offensive line couldn't make up their mind. So they're going to move it back again where they first started. 2nd and 16. .3A football, good to have you along. Pass down, a nice throw and catch in the rain. That's not easy. So going up high, making the catch was George Mendoza on the reception. That's going to bring up 3rd down, another flag. And Granados with the tackle here for the Grizzlies. So we'll see if that's movement on the line again. We haven't seen or heard what this is going to be. Discussion here with the Stripes. It looks like it's going to be a clean play. But you can see almost poised like pulling the trigger is the Stripes with the ball. So they're going to call this against the Wolverines, and they're going to move this one back 10. So that nice pass play is going to be nullified. 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Rain is falling, 6-0 Wolverines. So they're calling unsportsmanlike conduct by the Wolverines. Nonetheless, it was a nice throw and catch in the rain. Looks like a big rush. They're going to put pressure on. Here they come, and smothered. That was beautiful. I mean, you could see almost like the Denver Broncos coming in off the edges and getting a huge tackle. Big opportunity here for the Grizzlies. And as Nolan Steckel coming in with the big tackle. So that brings up 4th down, and you can see the marker there. It's now 4th and 32. They started on the 50-yard line, now sitting at the 32-yard line. So a big defensive stop here by the Grizzlies. High snap. Almost blocked. May have gotten a piece of that. Nice roll for the Wolverines, and they will down it at the 49-yard line of the Grizzlies. Good to have you along. It's the game of the week. Cool evening. Boy, fall in the air, clearly. We're just thankful that it's not snow yet. We've done a few games in the past, we're shivering. And I remember a couple of years ago when we were in Johnstown, and the starting temperature literally was 26 degrees. That was the beginning of the game, and it got colder. Ball sitting on the 49-yard line. Grizzlies with the ball. Golden opportunity. 2:14 left here in the first quarter. It is 6-0. Handoff on the keeper. Nice run. Close to the first down before smothered. We'll see where the mark is. But a good idea here by Northridge to try to catch him off guard. Israel Kampa. So it's about a half a yard short for the first down. You can see the mark. Cameraman Dean Popejoy, I'm sure, doing a good job keeping it close there for you. Pushed up the middle, easily getting the first down. In looking at the numbers, if you are wanting to be creative, Kampa clearly has the arm. And if you can flush him out of the pocket and get him throwing on his strong side, looking and giving some time for his wideouts, could be 6. We'll see what kind of creative control there is here for the Northridge Grizzlies. There's the keeper again, spinning, going about 7 to 8 yards. Nice effort by Kampa. So it's the Israel Kampa show so far here in this series. Now we do see some very familiar names as I'm looking at the Northridge High School staff, and very well known in the Greeley. We're going to give you a little clue here just in case. We are going to talk about teams that made the playoffs several years ago in the gold and powder blue. We'll give you a clue there. Pleasant surprise to see these names stuffed at the line. It's going to bring up third down. If it almost looks like a remake of that team in gold and blue from about 8 years ago that had a very nice reign, and I will say the name of the school, Greeley West High School. So that's going to do it as the clock sand winds down. That's end of one. 6-0 Wolverines on top. We'll be right back.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be
worried, sad,
grumpy, angry,
stressed, weird, rebellious,
anxious, antisocial,
lonely,
sleeping less,
sleeping more,
eating less,
eating more.
Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org. Awkward.
Welcome back to District 6 Stadium as we enter into the second quarter. Northridge with a good rallying cry. Pushing for the first, it's Kampa easily getting the first. And having trouble getting him down. Wrestled down at the 15-yard line. So that extra effort, you could see the legs churning. And gained at least another 10 to 15 yards. They just could not get him down. So we're going to give a lot of credit to Kampa to keep the legs rolling. And I also want to say that maybe the weather helped a little bit because he's kind of slick to try to get him down, but the legs were the important key in the extra effort. So the ball now sitting on the 16-yard line. Northridge is threatening. Really like what I'm seeing in this series. A lot of good ball control. Kampa again going to take it. There's the spin. getting the extra effort, got about 4 on the play. That's going to bring up second down. So coming into tonight's game, we're going to give you some interesting comparisons, how even these two teams are. Skyview averaging 25 points a game. Northridge, 27.7. Very interesting how close these teams are. Really, it's just the style of offense that makes the difference. Total yardage per game, 320 for Northridge, 271 coming into tonight. 320 is a huge, healthy average. Stuffed at the line. So Diem trying to get through and squirt through a hole, but again, very quickly plugged up nicely by the Wolverines. 10:20 left, 10:21 left here in the second quarter. Northridge marching down the field, very nicely contained, and really it's been so far in this series, it has been Compa. They have tried to do the running plays. Really, the only play that really was successful was that end around earlier when they got about a 20-yard play on that, but really the middle has been stuffed. Compa again trying to go up the middle, trying to catch him off guard, got about 3 on the play. It's going to be close to the first down. It's going to bring up fourth down. Now this will be an interesting call here with fourth down, and we're going to call it about 2.5 yards here. Ball sitting on the 5-yard line. Most likely Northridge will go with this, and it'll be Compa. Most likely has been so successful this evening. So critical play here early in this ball game. Northridge down by 6. Again, a missed extra point here on the high snap. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field. So we'll take one too. 6-0 Wolverines on top. Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. 9 minutes left here in the second corner. Rain still steadily coming down, but it's not a downpour. It's more of a drizzle. But really, it has been all Grizzlies in this quarter. It's 4th down and 2. We'll see what kind of defense. It's going to be all Compa here. Yep, there he goes. Going to go left side, looking to cut it. And he loses the handle. Good defense by the Wolverines. They come up with the ball on the strip. So you could see literally shooting the gap and getting past the offensive lineman for the Grizzlies and getting a hand on the ball, jarring it loose, and the Wolverines now with another big defensive play here. Now the ball sitting on the 19-yard line. So a golden opportunity here for the Grizzlies lost. Grizzlies in the last defensive series doing a good job of their own shooting gaps and causing, there's the pitch, left side, defense is there, and a good defensive play, slowing it up and not letting the runner get by. So Granados having a good night tonight, tackling, loss on the play of 1. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. So as I was alluding to earlier, some very pleasant surprises on the coaching staff of Northridge. And almost a shock in a good way. 2nd and 11. Looking pass down the middle, nice play. Caught, gain of about 6 on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down. So going over the middle on the down and in, getting the completion. Oh, they actually called it incomplete. Apparently got jarred loose. So it's going to bring still 3rd down and 11. So big play here for both Northridge as well as the Wolverines. If Northridge can hold them here comes the rush. Getting rid of it, throwing it away, so it's going to bring up 4th down. Very good defensive play again in 2 series here by Northridge and needed. And you could see really the defense, not only on the pressure coming in from the defensive line, but there really was no openings as far as the wideouts were concerned, and they weren't looking to shoot anything over the middle with the running back coming in from the backfield. So good defensive play again here by Northridge. And blocked, going to be in the end zone. That should be a touchdown. And they do. They call a touchdown on the block, so it's all even at 6. So Northridge with a huge defensive play of their own. And we're all knotted up. So it's going to be Hayden Rose in on the recovery and getting the touchdown for Northridge. Huge play. So most likely they're going to be going for 2. There's the run up the middle on the disguise, and it's now 7-6. It is going to be 8-6 Northridge on top. Good to have you along on the game of the week. A very impressive series, but most importantly, defense winning the battles here for both teams. Both Northridge coming up with the big, huge play, and it was the Wolverines at one point in the last series stripping the ball from Compa. But again, Northridge, a little magic of their own. We'll give you some more numbers here as we take a look at this. As we mentioned, total yards in the game, 320 for Northridge. Keep in mind, on the passing side, only about 40 yards passing a game is their average. You look at the tackles per game, almost dead even. Skyview, and this is not a surprise, with a 4-tackle edge, averaging 44 tackles a game. Northridge averaging 40.7. And as we mentioned, Northridge with 2 points ahead as far as the season average, 25 versus 23. So keep in mind, this is a team, both teams can light it up. Really, it'll be the weather, man, that's going to make the difference possibly in this game, because both teams can put up 20 to 40 points easily. So we'll see how they manage the weather and how their execution is here tonight. Going to be a tough play. It's going to go out of bounds. We'll see what the official mark is. So not a very good kick on the kickoff here by Northridge. And the Wolverines now with a very good opportunity here to really make something out of a bad kick. 8 minutes left here, 8-6, Northridge on top. Great opportunity here for Northridge if they can do what we just saw and put a cap down and hold them here. Another opportunity to add maybe another touchdown here before halftime. So Wolverines looking, there's the pitch left side, good idea, but the defense is there to swallow it up. Huge play by Northridge. So it's Aaron Ness coming in from his linebacker position at 6'1", 220, and that was a huge play. So Northridge really picking it up here on the defensive side. A big stop and a big loss on the play, 7. It's now 2nd down and 17 to go. Ball sitting on the 28-yard line. Mike Ray, Dean Pope, Joy, Dan Diaz, and Warren Ray bringing it to you. Good to have you along. Looking pass. Defense is there. Scrambling. That's what we talked about in the pregame. And the ball is loose. We'll see if it's going to be. So Diem in on the tackle, and it looks like he was downed. So that's going to bring up third down, getting a little bit back on the play. But you could see the defensive pressure really flushing the quarterback out. But one of those things is you've got to have a spy watching out for when he does run, because clearly the quarterback for Skyview does have running ability. Looking pass again. Over the middle, nice play. Going to stop short of the first down. Got about 8 on the play. So that should bring up fourth down and a kicking opportunity. And another opportunity here for Northridge to get good field position. We'll see if they go for it. We're not seeing kicking team coming out yet here for the Wolverines. So Wolverine's going to go for it on fourth down. You can see a little anxiousness on the front defensive line by the linebacker here for Northridge. And it looks like, yeah, they didn't like what they saw. There's a timeout on the field. So we're going to take 1-2 with 6 minutes left. 8-6, Grizzlies on top. Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. 6 minutes left. And an opportunity here for Northridge. It's fourth down. They are going to kick. Good idea here by the Wolverines. You don't want to give up too much yardage if you can't convert. Another bad snap, and Northridge is going to come up with it, and great field position. So we have seen that with the Wolverines on the extra point earlier, where it was a bad snap, not able to convert. And we've seen on a number of plays on the kicks where the Wolverines have had trouble on the snap, literally floaters. And in this case, you could see must have hit the leg of the center. And it looked like a ground ball going to shortstop on that play. So Northridge is a great opportunity. Ball sitting on the 30-yard line. Looking pass. Got a man open. Let's see if he can come down with it. Out of bounds, but a good idea. I like the call. Jeremy Hayden trying to pull the rabbit out of the hat and catch the defense off guard. Clearly the wideout was open, but the pass just a little bit long. I imagine once the offense gets more comfortable with each other as we come into the season, keep in mind this is the third game of the season, you'll see more passing opening up. Really, they're just trying to get the blocking schemes down. Looking pass. He's going to keep it. Look pass for a minute. Nice cutback. Gets down to about the 25-yard line. Almost a gain of about 4.5 to 5 yards on the play. It's going to bring up third down. So quick thinking by Compa, he could see that his receivers weren't open and made the cut back left. He was going to his strong side. But nobody opened, so he just made his own hole and turned nothing into about 3.5 to 4 yards. Third down, ball sitting on the 25-yard line. Looking pass again. There's the screen pass. It's a little bit low. Ball's going to be incomplete. It comes down to fourth down. So really, I'm not sure if it's just not enough arm on the play or if it was a wet football that could have caused that to be such a short pass, because you know Comp is pretty strong. So we'll see if they decide it's going to be most likely ball sitting on the 25-yard line. They're going to go for it. No reason to kick here because it'll go into the end zone. It'll be right around the 20 anyways. So Jeremy Hayden now looking to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and it looks like there's going to be a timeout with Northridge. So we'll take 1-2. 5 minutes left here in the half as we go to halftime. It's 8-6, and it's Northridge on top.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be
Worried. Sad.
Grumpy, angry,
Stressed. Weird. Rebellious.
Anxious. Antisocial.
Lonely.
sleeping less,
Sleeping more.
eating less.
Eating more.
Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. Fourth down should be a creative call here by Northridge. So far, they've been very successful with Compa going left side, right side, and even up the middle. So they're going to try it again here. He has attempted some passes, but nothing completed so far. And we've got movement somewhere. Looks like it may be against Northridge. Yep, going to be against Northridge. So they're going to move this back 5. And that now brings up 4th and 11. Ball sitting on the 30-yard line. So this will be interesting if they decide to kick it. Most likely they're going to go for it here. So even if they don't get the first down, if they can get 3 to 5 yards, it's almost the same as a kick if it goes into the end zone. Really academic here. 5 minutes left here as we march towards halftime. It's 8-6. And it's the Grizzlies on top. Looking pass, being chased. There's a flag, throws an interception, and you can see clearly just slipping out of Compa's hand, and that is a rain ball, but there was a flag on the play.
Compa's pass intercepted, but flags on the play.
This will be a very interesting call here. Could be a holding in the defensive secondary, not sure. You could see Compa surveying the territory. So it does go against the offense, so it will be an intercepted ball. And it's the Wolverines now with an opportunity. Ball sitting on the 32-yard line. Under 5 minutes left here as we head towards halftime. We'll see again how the defense responds here. Rain still continues to steadily come down. High snap. And quickly met right about the line of the scrimmage. Maybe about a half a yard to a yard gain on the play. That's going to bring up second down.
Gutierrez on the carry, tackle made by number 9, Ness, and number 30, Tapia.
So Ness and Tapia in on the tackles. Gutierrez, of course, getting the Northridge sandwich. So Northridge really has had some big defensive plays. And we can say the same thing for the Wolverines coming up with that interception. Looking pass, knocked down, hands were up. We'll see if they, most likely it was a forward pass, had to have been. It did not look like a fumble, so it will go back to the original line of scrimmage. Northridge hoping that it was a loose ball. So third down here for the Wolverines, and we'll see so far the pass really being nullified. A lot of this has to do with the weather. You have a very good passing team in Skyview, coached by Pat Weir. Some of the assistant coaches are Steve Reffel, he's the defensive line, Gary Stecklin, defensive coordinator, Chris Kim, quarterbacks, John Stevens, special teams, John Hornadek, defensive backs. And we're holding back kind of the names here of the other coaches here for Northridge. We're going to talk about that at halftime. Some very nice, pleasant surprises on the sideline here for Northridge, along with Jeremy Hayden. So missed opportunity, passing complete, brings up fourth down. Now, here's where it gets tricky here for the Wolverines, and I'll explain why. When they have tried to kick before, they've really had trouble getting decent snaps to the punter. And really, the last time we saw this, it was death, and they're going to go ahead and do a trick play. So an interesting call and effective here, better than trying to snap it back to the punter. So the ball will be marked at the 27-yard line. So really a good heads-up play by Skyview to do the misdirection on the trick play versus trying to punt. Much more effective. Just under 4 minutes left here as we march towards halftime. Good to have you along on the game of the week. Rad 247 Sports. As we mentioned, you can watch a rebroadcast of this as much as you like. We're never going to charge you for that. We want to thank Lisa Willis at Coldwell Realty. She is the realtor who will work very hard for you, literally 24/7. That's who I use. Hand up, snuffed up the middle, maybe with extra effort, about 2 yards. It's going to bring up second down. I got to tell you, Lisa Willis is one of those realtors. Every day I get listings, no lie, sometimes even 2 times a day from Lisa, keeping me posted on all the great deals here in Weld County and Larimer County. Give her a call, 970-420-1814. That's Lisa Willis with Caldwell Realty, 970-420-1814. So we thought that the rain would slow down, and guess what? It hasn't. It's a good thing we're not weathermen. Good defensive play beating the offensive line. Going to be a loss on the play. Going to bring up third down. Push back, and it's going to be 3rd and 8. So a loss of 2 on the play. So this will be interesting to see if the rain continues and what kind of condition the field is in. The good news is that it is synthetic turf, and it can dry out quickly once the rain decides to slow down. You see players on the sideline for Northridge jumping up and down, trying to keep warm. 3rd down, 8, ball sitting on the 30-yard line. Looking pass, defense is there, and knocked down maybe a yard back, but most likely a loss on the play. So Wolverines doing a good job. You can see the adjustment that they have done. Before they were fooled by Comp on the last series, and now they've adjusted. So Hayden is really going to have to come up with something different as we go into the 3rd quarter. Under 2 minutes left. Golden opportunity, plenty of time here for the Wolverines. The clock is running. And really, if the Wolverines can get any kind of run back, this will be huge as far as position. So Northridge going to take a timeout. We will too, with 1.5 minutes left. 8-6, Grizzlies on top. Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. 1:32 left. Here is the snap. That's critical, and we've seen Northridge winning the battle, but not much of a kick. We'll see if they get a roll. They do, and that is much needed. Ball will be down right on the 25-yard line. That was huge here for Northridge. They would like to go in with the 2-point lead at halftime. So 1:20 left. We'll see how they negotiate the weather now, because clearly it is starting to come down pretty hard, and I don't know if we'll be able to get a shot of this, but you can see it starting to accumulate on the field. So we've got some brave people out here this evening in the stands on both sides. Of course, coming from Skyview in Thornton, the contingent, and their team is down by 2. It's 8-6. Pitch, we saw that play earlier. There's the cutback, nobody there. Spin did not work, and Northridge defense did work. It's going to bring up second down. So Madrid on the carry getting stopped. Nice play by Northridge once again with some good defensive stands. Under a minute here before we go towards halftime. So the weatherman really doing a good job here on this ball game tonight. We'll give you an update here as far as what we're expecting. It's now 54 degrees, and it looks like 60% chance of rain as we head. So this will be an interesting night. Movement and a good play here by the Wolverines. On the carry, it's going to move the sticks and get the first down. Only 24 seconds left. So clearly, we're going to have rain the rest of this way. We're hovering close to 8 o'clock here Mountain Time, and 90% chance of rain, and guess what? It has succeeded. Weatherman is doing a good job. Another pitch, that little quick pitch left side, going to be close to the first down. That should do it. So the clock runs out. We are at halftime. It's an 8-6 ball game. Grizzlies on top. We're going to take a timeout. We'll take a few minutes. We'll come back and we're going to give you a halftime show here and give you some numbers about the league and what's been going on here so far. You're watching the game of the week here from Northridge High School and District 6 Stadium, 8-6. We'll be right back.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be
Worried,
Sad,
Grumpy, angry,
Stressed, weird, rebellious,
anxious, antisocial,
lonely,
sleeping less,
sleeping more,
eating less,
eating more.
Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org. Awkward.
Some things just never change. Crazy work weeks, hectic schedules, and hometown traditions.
We love our customers at Hayes Market.
Hayes Market, a Johnstown tradition since the 1950s, where you can count on the freshest produce, meats, baked goods, and food selection. With great customer service. Hayes Market, proud sponsors of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Open every day of the week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 970-587-5496. That's 970-587-5496. At Milliken Animal Clinic, our purpose is to serve the residents of Northern Colorado by providing exceptional, affordable veterinary care for their furry family members. Our clients will always be treated with respect, dignity, and compassion as if they were our own. It is our desire to make lasting relationships with our clients and to be there for our patients through every stage of life. Plus, reasonably priced pet food and supplies. Milliken Animal Clinic, affordable veterinary care. Call 970-518-1252.
Established in 1979, Rick's Furniture has been providing quality new and used furniture with no pushy salespeople. Customers travel from all over northern Colorado and Wyoming to Rick's Furniture, who offers top-of-the-line service, prices, and a variety of furniture. Call them today at 970-352-5560. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and close on Sundays. 970-352-5560. Rick's Furniture.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be
Worried. Sad.
Grumpy. Angry.
Stressed. Weird. Rebellious.
Anxious. Antisocial.
Lonely.
Sleeping less.
Sleeping more.
Eating less.
Eating more.
Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org. Awkward.
Some things just never change. Crazy work weeks, hectic schedules, and hometown traditions.
We love our customers at Hayes Market.
Hayes Market, a Johnstown tradition since the 1950s, where you can count on the freshest produce, meats, baked goods, and food selection. With great customer service. Hayes Market, proud sponsors of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Open every day of the week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 970-587-5496. That's 970-587-5496. At Milliken Animal Clinic, our purpose is to serve the residents of northern Colorado by providing exceptional, affordable veterinary care for their furry family members. Our clients will always be treated with respect, dignity, and compassion as if they were our own. It is our desire to make lasting relationships with our clients and to be there for our patients through every stage of life. Plus, reasonably priced pet food and supplies. Milliken Animal Clinic, affordable veterinary care. Call 970-518-1252.
Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. We're at halftime, and we've got about 7 minutes before we get back into this one. But really, clearly, the weatherman has not been the friend of both teams, but both teams taking advantage of the weather on a lot of good defensive plays. Really, you think about what both teams are doing here tonight, really playing off not the ability to throw very well. We've seen interceptions. We've seen bad snaps. We've seen even bad attempts at trying to run through holes when it's very soggy. But at the same time, we've also seen some very good plays defensively on both sides. We saw the Wolverines early in this ball game, snatching the ball out of the air and, of course, catching Northridge behind the lines. And then, of course, we saw Northridge answering back with Compa doing some really nice magic work of his own when they went and marched the ball down close and had an opportunity there, but not able to take it in on the first time. But a very good defensive play allowed them to get the 6 that's on the board. And then, of course, a nice conversion with the 2-point conversion. And we're now sitting at 8-6. So really the key tonight is going to be ball control. It's going to be execution. And more importantly, the ability to hang on to the ball. The Wolverines, who come in tonight, really the leaders as far as passing between these two teams. We painted the picture very well early in this ball game, where Northridge comes in averaging 320 yards plus as far as total yards. Really, most of that is going to be on the running side. They only average about 30 to 40 yards passing in the game, as we saw that with Compa not able to really get the ball off. Part of it was due to the rain. We'll definitely put it to that, but really that's just not their game. Their strength is running in misdirection and really allowing Compa to do his own thing as far as creativeness when he moves out of the pocket. You saw some nice movement where he cut back after going to his strong side, then going weak side, and caught the defense napping literally and got some nice runs. We can also say that with the Wolverines in the opening play on the switchback run, and of course taking it and running it in for the lone score here for the Wolverines. So really the key tonight will be, okay, who's going to hang on to the ball in this rain? And it looks like the rain is still starting to come down, but it's starting to slow a bit. Weatherman has said about 80 to 90% chance of rain through 10 o'clock this evening. We're going to give you some numbers coming into tonight as far as the Northridge Grizzlies. In opening week, they lost to Hinckley, but as we alluded to early in the webcast, they only lost by 6 points, and they only lose by very little when they do lose. They lost 20 to 14, but then came back here at District 6 Stadium and beat Greeley Central, winning that one 26 to 13. Last week, a very impressive performance against Eagle Valley. If you recall, just 3 years ago was Eagle Valley that went against Roosevelt, and that was a very cold ball game that we actually webcast. That was in Johnstown. Literally, it was 26 degrees when we were doing that ball game. And it got colder as the game went on, but of course it was Roosevelt that went on to beat Eagle Valley, and also it was Northridge who went on to beat Eagle Valley last week, and that score was 43 to 22. Upcoming games for Northridge after tonight. They will travel to Denver to take on Lincoln. Then it's going to be at Erie, and that's a very tough team. If you recall just a few years ago, Erie also in the playoffs, and they are always very good, very fundamental team, and known for more of a running attack. On the 17th of October, it's going to be at home against Fort Morgan. Then on the 25th, it will be at Niwot. Niwot already this season has had some very good outings. And then we invite you, as we finish it out in the final 2 games, a good one will be against Roosevelt. Roosevelt, of course, looking good early in this season. That should be a very good game on October the 1st. Actually, check that November the 1st. And keep in mind, that's going to be a cold ball game. Usually when we hit November, it is in the 30s, so warm up for that one. And the final game will be in Loveland against Thompson Valley, and that should be a really good ball game. We're going to come back. We're going to take a very short break, 30 seconds, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to do a quick wrap-up here as far as the league is concerned. My producer's saying stay with it, so you want me to keep the course. All right, Warren, I'll do that. We'll give you some standings here in the 3A North Valley football standings. That's where, of course, Northridge is residing. Niwot, which is a tough team, and they usually are every year, they are sitting at 3-1. Then it's Fort Morgan. Sound familiar? These are some of the big games coming up. Fort Morgan coming into tonight at 2-1. Northridge tied with them. Then it's Thompson Valley, another team that's really known for their passing. So they're going to hope that they won't have a rainy night like we're seeing here tonight. You will see the ball fly through the air against Thompson Valley, and that's coming up. And then, of course, Erie at 1-2, and Roosevelt, oddly enough, sitting in the cellar at 1-2. We're at halftime here, 1:23 left. You can see the players are starting to warm up if they can in this cold night. And again, really the key here is the ball control. A couple of surprises to us, and we were very surprised in regards to who is coaching on the sidelines. And if you think about it, it looks like a revisit or a remake of the Greeley West Spartans going back about 8 years ago. Some of these names very familiar to you, and a very successful coach coming in is Mark Rogie. Mark Rogie, of course, led Greeley West. He was the head coach going back about 8 years ago to several playoffs. If you recall, going back to 2008, when Greeley West went to Denver to play for the state championship, and what a game that was, and they lost it literally in the last 20 seconds of the ball game, had the game, and that was Mark Rogie's team. That was a great year. Also, with Mark here on the Northridge staff is Ryan Burkholder. Ryan Burkholder, the offensive line coach here for Northridge, was the offensive line coach for Greeley West back in the day. And another surprise name, defensive specialist Don Edick, is back literally with Mark and Ryan. Don, of course, putting up some big, good defensive numbers and schemes. So again, it looks like we're having some potential technical difficulties. So we're going to go ahead and take a short break here. You're watching the game of the week. We are at halftime, and there's about 2:44 left here before we get into the third quarter. We'll be right back.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be
Worried. Sad.
Grumpy. Angry.
Stressed. Weird. Rebellious.
Anxious. Antisocial.
Lonely.
Sleeping less.
Sleeping more.
Eating less.
Eating more.
Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org. Awkward.
Some things just never change. Crazy work weeks, hectic schedules, and hometown traditions.
We love our customers at Hayes Market.
Hayes Market, a Johnstown tradition since the 1950s, where you can count on the freshest produce, meats, baked goods, and food selection. With great customer service. Hayes Market, proud sponsors of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Open every day of the week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 970-587-5496. That's 970-587-5496. At Milliken Animal Clinic, our purpose is to serve the residents of Northern Colorado by providing exceptional, affordable veterinary care for their furry family members. Our clients will always be treated with respect, dignity, and compassion as if they were our own. It is our desire to make lasting relationships with our clients and to be there.
Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. We're just underway here into the third quarter. It is going to be the Wolverines with the ball here to open up the third quarter. Good to have you along. Mike Ray along with Warren Ray, Dean Popejoy, and Dan Diaz bringing it to you. 8-6 ball game. What can I say? It is the Slosh Bowl here this evening in Greeley. Team's doing a good job so far of weathering the storm. There's that pitch. Defense is right there, slamming the runner to the turf. Going to be a huge loss on the play. So it was Aaron Ness with a nice tackle reading the play, and they've seen this play about 4 times, so they've read this. You can see Coach Edick there on the sideline pumping up his team. That is a very familiar sight, seeing Coach Edick. We saw that, of course, now wearing a navy blue versus the Spartan blue on the sideline. Almost feel like it's a Spartan homecoming here on the Northridge sideline. Handoff up the middle. Got a nice gain out of that, getting out of the hole, literally gain of about 6. So it's going to bring up 3rd down. So between Edick and Burkholder, this should be, over the next few years, should be very interesting what happens here at Northridge. Of course, Mark Rogie, really his specialty is more offense. And coming into tonight at 2-1 and looking like a good opportunity to go 3-1, we're starting to see the transition here for the Northridge program. Going to be a loss on the play, on the mishandle. Part of it would be potentially, could be concentration, but we're going to also offer up a wet football. That is got to be tough out on that field. So it's going to be 3rd and a chunk, actually 4th down. 4th and about 16. Really great opportunity here for Northridge if they can get some good field position. The last time you saw the trick play, it's going to be a timeout on the field. And we're just going to keep it right here. We're going to look at some of the standings as far as what's happened here with Skyview and what's happened as far as getting them here. First week that they played in 0 week, they lost to Adams City. That's a program that has really stepped it up over the last couple of years, losing that one 17-9. But then a couple of nice wins, winning at Berthoud and winning that game 18-7. And then last week, winning huge over Lincoln and winning that one 48-7. That's who the Grizzlies will see next week. They will travel to Denver to go play against Lincoln. So a bad snap and a bad attempted kicking and a huge defensive play and loss on the play. The ball is going to be sitting on the 20-yard line for Northridge. 9:49 left here in the 3rd quarter. This looks a little bit like what we saw in the first half. Northridge really going to take advantage here of some mishandles and some missed snaps. We'll see if Hayden really goes to the same scheme of running with Compa, or if he does go to the pass. Not raining quite as hard as it was. There's the handoff left side. Good defensive play. Going to be a loss of a few on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down. So the Wolverines picking up where they left off defensively. It's going to bring up 2nd. We're going to call it 2nd and 12. Ball sitting on the 25-yard line. So every time Northridge has tried to run where they hand off and going over a tackle or over a guard, it's just not been successful here this evening. Been very difficult. Looking pass, got a man open in the corner. It's going to be short, almost intercepted. Again, just not enough air under the ball on that throw. For about a second or two, the wideout did have the defender beat, but just not enough juice on the ball to get it there. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 12. I'm a little surprised that they're not trying to throw passes in the flat here. Usually that works in a scheme like this as far as high school football. Right side looking for that pass, overthrowing. In fact, you could see the wideout heading towards the end zone, so it was a misread. Compa looking to throw more outside, and you can see the cut more towards the inside, so it brings up 4th down. So the ball sitting on the 25-yard line, clearly they're going to go for it, 4th and 12. Hard to believe we're just seeing the transition here at Northridge as far as the coaching staff. Should be some exciting years to come here at Northridge. Mark Rogie, of course, was at Resurrection High School for the last few years, and they had a very successful program while he was there. Looking, there's the pass, and just a little bit strong. Compa just did not have the touch, tried to go with the screen. A little bit strong, so that's going to be a turnover, and the ball going back to the Wolverines. So a missed opportunity here, and Northridge looking to apply some defensive pressure like we saw earlier. We saw that very well done where they caved in on the right and left side with some big losses. So it's going to be important if they can keep that pressure up. Really surprised, and it's understandable, that Skyview hasn't gone more to the air, even though they've probably attempted about 10 passes. Looking pass, here comes the pressure, sacked, and that's the reason why. So Aaron Ness coming in and putting the screws literally on the big loss, and that's going to bring up second. We're going to call it second and about 17 or 18 for the first down. So a big play. So the defensive secondary coming in on the scheme, that's an edict play. We've seen that a lot. Usually he goes with his linebackers too, that we saw in the past at Greeley West. Here comes the rush again. Quick throw. Not able to draw it in, bouncing off the hands of the receiver. And again, I'm going to say that has a lot to do with the weather, because that was a good throw and the timing was there. So some creative play calling here for the Wolverines. Sitting at third, they're saying 3rd down and 17. So Gutierrez clearly has the pattern down in regards to his wideouts. They're just not able to draw it in. Miss snap again. Going to have to fall on it. It's going to be another big loss on the play. So it's going to bring up 4th down. Now this will be creative here, because they're going to have to get the ball either on a kick. You saw that trick play that worked earlier, but they're going to be looking for that. So this is where it's going to get creative. You don't want to give up another touchdown here on a missed play. So clearly it's going to be Gutierrez on 4th down, and he's going to try to do something here, and he's going to do a quick kick. Good idea. Nobody in the backfield, so that's going to get a nice Wolverine bounce, and really just what Skyview needed here. 7:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. Rainy night. Grizzlies on top. It's 8-6. And it looks like a timeout by Northridge. We'll take 1, 2. We'll be right back. Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. 7:19 left here in the 3rd quarter. Northridge handoff. Nice run left side. Good defensive block there to open it up. Got a nice gain of about 6. And that was really more execution that Northridge really needs to do on the offensive line. And clearly that will happen in the years to come when you have Brian Burkholder as the offensive line coordinator. He is very good at setting that up. You think back when he was in reign here with Greeley West, a lot of those big holes, they had some very good offensive lines in those days. 2nd down, 5 to go here for the first down. Ball sitting on the 47-yard line. Mishandle. Compa just going to have to fall on it, so it's going to bring up 3rd down. Mike Ray, Dean Popejoy, Warren Ray, Dan Diaz bringing it to you. Radioactive or Rad Sports. We switched it, trying to make it a little bit easier for you to remember. It's Rad 247 Sports. Changed that name about a year ago. So we're good to be back. We took a year off. Did a lot of baseball this last summer. But we'll be back doing football, and of course we're looking forward to the basketball season. 3rd down and 6. Compa looking. Here comes the defense. Going to try to get out of it, but the defense comes up. Loose ball. So that's where it's dangerous. You could see Compa losing the ball on the strip, just not able to hang on to it. And keep in mind, temperature-wise, we're probably getting into the 40s with this wet rain. Players are not used to the cold weather yet. So that makes it tough on the hands. So Northridge looking to get this one off as smooth. You can see the rain in their face, literally, on the slant from the wind. So it's going to make it a little bit tough for the punter. End over end kick. This should be a good opportunity. Ball stops at the 30-yard line. The Wolverines will get it with 4:54 left here in the 3rd quarter. Good to have you along in the game of the week. You can watch a rewind of this as much as you like. Just go to Rad 247 Sports. We're going to put this both on our website. We'll put it on our Facebook site. And of course, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can watch it as much as you like. Again, we want to thank Express Professional Employment in Greeley, 2711 West 10th Street. Great jobs right now. If you're looking for something more on the permanent long-term side, $15 to $35. Give them a call, 970-353-8430. You can hear the roar of the crowd, even in the cold weather, on the big stop. So Grove in on the tackle. Crowd enjoying a defensive gym here tonight, really by both teams. Wolverines doing a fine job. There's only 2-point difference here. Plenty of time for either team. And it's going to really come down to how many mistakes and managing the mistakes of this game. And we're not going to say it's the lack of ability on the teams. It's the weather doing a lot of this. Looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field. It's going to go Wolverines. 4 minutes left, 8-6. Grizzlies on top. We'll take a timeout.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be
Worried, sad,
Grumpy, angry,
Stressed, weird, rebellious,
anxious, antisocial,
lonely,
sleeping less,
sleeping more.
eating less,
eating more.
Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. It is 2nd down. Gutierrez looking, got a man open in the flat. Really, the wideout was not looking on that play whatsoever. He had to literally throw it at his feet, and he did not want to get it up. Trying to get it to Isaac Madrid, but Madrid was not looking. He was really watching the defender. So that brings up 3rd down and 12. Cold, rainy night here at District 6 Stadium. Kind of sounds like the title of a cheesy novel or the beginning of a cheesy novel. But we're not exaggerating, and you can see it is starting to affect the play, or has affected the play of both teams. Gutierrez, so here comes a rush. Nobody there. Trying to go to Deshaun Gallegos. And a little bit short, and fortunately for the Wolverines, the defender was not looking. So that's going to bring up fourth down. So it's Northridge with another opportunity. We'll see if they do try to attempt. They are. There's the kick. This gets a very good roll here for the Wolverines. It's going to be down at about the 22-yard line. 3:47 left here in the third quarter. 8-6. No change really in scores. So we'll see what Jeremy Hayden now decides to do. They've got to change it up a little bit. They've been going heavy diet. Did try to go passes, but tried a screen that was ineffective. They tried it about 3 times now. Part of it was due to the defense and the speed of the defense getting through the offensive line and good coverage of the receivers coming out of the backfield. Campo, of course, being careful, nursing that pass, handoff left side, cut back, got about 2 on the play. There's going to be a flag. We're not sure if it's a hold or a face mask. So it is holding. When you see it in the backfield like that, you know it's going to be holding on the offense. So Ryan Burkholder's got some work to do with this offensive line. And as I alluded to early in the ball game, a lot of the players here, really the heaviest player that I'm seeing on the Northridge sideline is 240, and that's Carlos Bocanegra. He is a junior at 5'9", 240, but is not seeing action here this evening so far. Really, they're going with more of a faster offense and defensive line for both Northridge, and I'm going to say that for the Wolverines as well. Looking pass, trying to go corner, nobody there. It's going to bring up second down. So I think really some miscommunication there by the Grizzlies. It was Daniel Granados flying down the sideline, and it really looked more like a down and out pass here from Campa. Third quarter winding down, 2-point lead. Second down and 23, ball sitting on the 10-yard line. Handoff, nice cut back. Got a few back on the play, but the defense is right there, swarming. I have to give credit to both teams in their ability to defend the run. Both teams doing a very good job going over tackles and going, when the run is going over a tackle or a guard, the way they can shift quickly from the linebacker side. And I'm going to say that about both teams. We've also seen a nice reaction here by the Wolverines early in the ball game when really when Northridge was starting to go left side and right side, pulled it off, but then they obviously adjusted and able to string out tackles. 3rd and 21. Almost a mishandle. Campa reacting on the spin. Got 2 back, and it's going to bring up fourth down. So Grizzlies going to have to punt here on fourth down. And if they don't get a very good kick here, we'll present another opportunity. Receiver back on about the 42-yard line of the Grizzlies, waiting for the kick. We've not seen really any great kicking or punting here this evening. And it looks like the rain is finally starting to slow down a bit here as we're finishing out the third quarter. A much welcome sight here for both teams. Here comes the rush, a little bit better kick this time. It's going to go sideline and out of bounds. So good opportunity. It looks like they're going to mark it at about the 36-yard line here for the Wolverines in Northridge territory. It could come down to literally towards the end of the ball game who makes the final series. In other words, who is able to have a successful offensive series. And now that the rain is slowing down, we might be able to see really some better plays here offensively. Defensively, it's been great for both teams. Man in motion, left side, nice cut. Got about 5 on the play before slowed down. Good call by the Wolverines on the quick handoff. You could see the man in motion might have caught the attention of the defense, but it was the fullback running through that got the 5 yards. That brings up second down. Just a little over a minute left here in the third quarter. Same man in motion, handoff up the middle, but again met quickly. This time not buying it, the defense quickly swarming. Loss of about a half a yard on the play. So Stecco with the tackle here for Northridge and slowing down the charge here. So clearly they're going to go for it even on fourth down in the location that they're at. There's no reason to punt here if they're not able to convert. 3rd and 5. Left side, defense is there. And at a 5-yard loss. And coming in from the right side from the defensive secondary was a great read by Northridge. Tapia in with the tackle, great play. Trying to go left side and go wide, just not able to. Stringing that one out for a loss. That brings up 4th down. Ball sitting on the 35-yard line, and that will do it after 3. So we remain 8-6, Grizzlies on top. Welcome back to District 6 Stadium, 4th quarter. Wolverines with an opportunity here. Looking pass. If he's almost intercepted. Pass was a little bit short. You could see it wobbling in the air. Fortunately, it's not raining quite as hard, but really just having trouble getting a grip on the ball. So it's going to be Northridge with the ball as we taking over on downs, starting the 4th quarter. Good to have you along. Mike Ray, Dean Popechoy, Warren Ray, Dan Diaz bringing it to you, our first webcast of the season. We plan on being here for Greeley West and Central. We're going to take next week off, but we will be back for the big showdown here in town at D6. So this is one of those moments where you're going to look to try to take advantage of the weather. That's right. There's the fake pass. Nice run up the middle. Cutting back, breaking tackles. And you could see almost getting close to the first down. That was Compa, very similar to what we saw in the second quarter with that extra effort by Compa with a nice gain. That's going to bring up second. We're going to call it 2nd and 2. So again, we want to thank our cameraman, Dean Popejoy and Dan Diaz, for weathering the cold weather, the wet weather out here this evening. Or Northridge is going to have great field position. And that was huge. We saw that earlier that turned into a score, literally. So Nolan Stecco with the stick. And Northridge now knocking on the door. Plenty of time. Really needing to protect this now. 6.5 left in this ball game. So in case you missed it, we had a brief break here due to the weather and technical difficulties. We're back here with you on the webcast. And a big block by Stecco, and it's now Northridge down by 4. Defense is holding, and clearly the defense just beating the offensive line. Not sure what's happening and how quickly, why they're getting off the mark, but they lost 4 in the play. Actually, check that. They're going to mark it as 5 on the play. 2nd and 15. Ball sitting on the 20-yard line. Good to have you back here on Rad 247 Sports. Had a little technical difficulty due to the internet. We are back. It is a close one here. 5:48 left here in this ball game. 4-point lead by the Wolverines. Somebody moved. And this could be helpful. You can see the Wolverines thinking it was the offensive line. And Northridge starting to move backwards, so it's going to be movement on the line by Northridge. So the calling now getting more creative as the rain gets more creative. It's going to be 2nd and 20. Now ball sitting on the 25-yard line. What we saw earlier that worked very well was that handoff going around like a jet sweep. We'll see if they go back to that. Looking pass, going to go corner. If he's open, in and out of the hands, had him open. Just could not pull it in. But the ball was there. It was a nice throw by Compa. So not able to pull it in. It was trying to hit Daniel Granados. Almost looked back shoulder, almost. As they work and get the timing down, you can see clearly Compa does have a good arm, and if he has the time and it's not so wet, he could make some nice throws. I could see this offensive scheme starting to open up as the weather gets better, meaning in games to come. 5:18 left. Nice throw and catch. First completion here for Northridge of the evening. It's going to bring up 4th down. So having to go for it, they gained about 3 yards on the play. That's going to bring up 4th and 17. So a big play call here on 4th down, and they're going to call it 16 to get the first down. They can get the first down without scoring and still have about 6 yards to go for the score. Looking pass, not surprised. Nobody there. Here comes the defense. Defense is there, going to throw it into the end zone. Out of bounds. It was intercepted, but the feet were out of bounds. So it's going to be taken over on downs here by the Wolverines. So Wolverines now in good shape, but the ball will be sitting on the 22-yard line. So very clearly you can hear the chant defense, and that's the prescription here. And I'm going to say strip defense. They need a big play here. 4:26 left. Flags on the field. We did not see movement on the line, but you can see moving backwards is the Wolverines. So it's a substitution call. Wow. Illegal substitution. That was huge. So it moves it back. Ball now sitting on the 17-yard line. There's the keeper by Gutierrez. There's the stuff. Another loss on the play. This is huge. A little bit of tempers flaring. As we finish this one out, you can see some words being said. A big defensive play here by the Grizzlies. Wow, Ness in on a big tackle. And that's going to bring up second, actually check, yep, second, we're going to call it 2nd and 20. Under 4 minutes now in the ball game. How big was that play? We'll see if they can continue. Rain starting to come down heavy. They're going to get Gutierrez behind the line again. Gang tackle. So that's going to bring up 3rd down. This could be just what the doctor ordered. Now, clearly, they're going to have to get this one together quickly. You can see Don Edick talking to his defense and doing a little bit of coaching there and mentoring. And a nice defensive play as far as on the switch. You could see there was a lead blocker for Gutierrez, but too many Grizzlies there to do the job and swallow up the runner. There's just no way that they could stop the run there. Very animated is Don Edick. You can always see him on the sideline. Edick, of course, for years had a very successful restaurant here in Greeley, in West Greeley, and now just doing coaching and retired literally from his job. 3rd down, 20. Wolverines coming out of their huddle, trying to figure out what to do here, trying to keep the ball going here and take this one home with a slim 4-point lead. Mike Ray, Dean Popejoy, Warren Ray, Dan Diaz bringing it to you. Good to have you along. Up the middle, got about 3 back. That's going to bring up 4th down. And still a big chunk to try to get the 1st down. So as we keep alluding, they're going to have to do a quick kick to get it going. And when they have done the quick kick, it has been successful by the Wolverines. Is when they get back deep on the snap. That's where it's been causing trouble. So we see another timeout taken by Northridge. We'll take one too. 3:23 left in the ball game. 12-8. Wolverines on top. .323 left here in the ball game, and it is rain is coming down steady and hard. 4th down, 20 to go here for the Wolverines. They're going to go for it. Maybe a quick kick. He's going to run backwards. Oh, I see what they're going to do. They're going to kneel down. That was an interesting call. So this potentially could move it back out on the 20. We'll see what the play, that's my guess. It would be a touchback is what they're doing. So they're calling it a safety. So Northridge now gets 2 back, and they will get the ball back. So it's now a 12-10 ball game. Now, think about this. We'll set the table here for you and try to paint this picture a little bit. Northridge could win this on a field goal, but with the rain coming down so hard, and it's so hard to get your hands on the ball, we've seen several times where Compa on a basic snap out of a shotgun, just having trouble hanging on to the ball. So you figure trying to maneuver the ball on a quick snap on a field goal could get tricky if they get to that point. They're only down by 2, and they're going to get the ball back here shortly. They're also going to push this back because it was a safety. So now the Wolverines are going to have to kick it from their 20. So this could potentially give Northridge some very good field position and plenty of time. There's 3:17 left. How key will be the blocking here of the specialty team here for the return kick? This will be huge to try to set up a wall. Good kick. Going to be taken. Hang on to the ball at the 35. Rambling up. Nice run back. Ball going to be at the 47 or 46-yard line of the Wolverines. Final 3 minutes of this ball game. We'll call it the Slosh Bowl. We are guessing, I'll give you a temperature read here in a moment, where it's 54 degrees here at D6. But it feels much colder than that because you have a breeze, if you want to call it the wind chill effect. Could be the final drive of the ball game here for Northridge. It looks like there's going to be a timeout. Yep. This time it's Skyview, and they're going to talk it over. So we will take 1-2. 3:11 left, 12-10. Wolverines on top.
Some things just never change. Crazy work weeks, hectic schedules, and hometown traditions.
We love our customers at Hayes Market.
Hayes Market, a Johnstown tradition since the 1950s, where you can count on the freshest produce, meats, baked goods, and food selection. With great customer service. Hayes Market, proud sponsors of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Open every day of the week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 970-587-5496. That's 970-587-5496.
Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. This is the final drive potentially here for the Northridge Grizzlies. Going past, going sideline, flying out of bounds, brings up second down. So Compa really probably a smart idea to go high like that, simply because the defender was there. If he'd have thrown it down low, could have been picked off. Second down, 10, ball sitting on the 47-yard line. Good to have you along. First game for us at District 6 Stadium. It is Northridge down by 2. Really looking for that final drive if they can just get the handle on the ball. In the shotgun is Compa. There's the fake handoff. Going to keep it. Good idea. Good idea. Going to ramble. Should be enough for the first down. Defense was completely fooled because they were looking pass and looking run on the right side. Compa with the cutback going left side gets the first down. Sticks move. Actually 3rd and 1. Whoa, what happened? And it looks like the Wolverines come up with a big defensive gem. So we're going to see a discussion. It was Compa on it, and they are going to give it to Northridge, and they say Compa got the first down. So it was after the ball was down that the Wolverines thought they had a loose ball. But the sticks will move. It will be first down for Northridge. Wow, what a turn of events. Compa looking, surveying the field, going to go deep, going to be a wobble ball, up for a jump ball, but it's picked off by the Wolverines so that the receiver could not get his hands on the ball. You could see falling out of his hands, had his hands on the ball, and you see very upset with himself. It was almost like a comebacker, if you will, or a back shoulder, and that had to do with the pass wobbling because of the wetness and the moisture. So the Wolverines are going to come up with the ball on a loose handle. Wow, what a turn of events. So you thought for a moment on the missed throw that that was going to turn into something great because the receiver had his hands on the ball. So they're going to call offsides on Skyview. Wow. And it looks like the offense is going to get this back. Yes. Oh my. No, it's going to be it's going to be Wolverine ball. I see what happened. There was an offsides. And you can see a lot of discussion here. Now we see Compa coming back on the field. So it is going to be a Northridge offensive possession on an offside. Holy moly. So it is going to be, okay, now they're switching. We saw Compa going back on the field, thought the offense was going to get it. Now we see more discussion here trying to get a ruling. Head coach out on the field losing his cause or his discussion there. Losing the case was Jeremy Hayden. Thought the offense was going to get another shot on a potential offside. So this has gotten very creative here with 2:27 left. It's going to be the Wolverines with the ball, 2-point lead, trying to nurse this one home. Loose ball on the snap. They're going to lose 5 on the play. That will bring up second down, and it's going to be 2nd and 15. So we could call this the slush bowl. We could call it the oops bowl. I'm not sure, or whoops ball. Just because of the weather. We're not going to say it's the teams, it's the weather. So very confusing on whether the offense or defense for Northridge is going to be back on the field. It turned out to be the defense eventually. 2nd and 15. There's the quick pitch play, and really has not worked tonight. It worked once. That was it. Been shut down. So that brings up 3rd down, and you can see taking their time. This brings up 3rd down still at 15. If there was a 30-second clock, that would be aiding Northridge, but boy, taking their sweet time is going to be the Wolverines. They're going to try to nurse this one home and eat up clock. And there are no timeouts for the Grizzlies. Under a minute left in this ball game. Going to be looking stripped. There's the tackle. This is going to bring up 4th down. So they're going to try to run this down. Now this will be interesting if the Grizzlies get this back. So you figure there's going to be one more play. They're going to try to nurse this one down and finish this out. And if the Grizzlies get it back, it's going to be seconds left in the ball game if they get it back. So we're not sure if they can just let this run out or not. You don't see any movement whatsoever coming in from the sideline trying to get a play in. And it looks like you can see flag is going to be thrown. So delay of game, clearly, that's what this is about. 11 seconds. So intentionally taking a delay of game is the Wolverines. Why not? So here comes the play. The ball now sitting on the 5-yard line. Getting more and more interesting as we go here as far as the officiating. So it's going to have to be a quick kick. 11 seconds left. Here comes a bad snap. It's blocked. Northridge going to get it. And they're going to have to, if they have time, so they've got 5 seconds left. It's going to come down to one play, literally. So Rose on the block, recovering it on the block punt. That's the third block punt by the Grizzlies tonight. What an interesting turn of events here tonight. Good to have you along from District 6. So we got 5 seconds left. Players still running in to get in position. And they're going to go for the field goal. Here we go. If they can get the snap, there's movement, that's going to go against. That will go against the Wolverines. So they're going to move this up and move it a little closer, making it a better kick. So we called it earlier. We said potentially, wouldn't it be funny if it came down to the field goal? So if they can get a good snap. There's the snap, there's the kick, it's up, and it's good. Oh my gosh, the Miracle Bowl. We've gone from the Slush Bowl to the Oops Bowl. Now we're going to call it the Miracle Bowl. You've seen it right here. So they're trying to get people. There's going to be a flag on the play. Northridge ahead by 1. There's 1.2 seconds left. And they got to clear this field quickly so they can get this off. Wow, what a turn of events. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we called it. Is that cool or what? So you can watch a rebroadcast of this. You'll want to. It's been very entertaining watching and calling this game. You're going to see 2 reels. We'll warn you ahead of time. There will be 2 reels on this because, and we're going to go ahead, I'm being told by my producer, we're going to try to put the full, we'll go ahead and give you the full version once we edit it down. So this has gotten to be one of the most interesting games, I think, in the 11 years that I've called here, that we've ever called. Northridge, you can't beat the character of Northridge. 3 block punts, and what a timely block punt, and not losing their head to be able to not only draw the penalty flag, but then get that kickoff, and it was very well executed. The snap was good, the kick was beautiful, and the crowd is buzzing. So potentially Northridge can go up 3-1, and Skyview go to 2-2, and Northridge will stay in the race for the playoffs. This may be one of those games that they talk about in Greeley for years to come, literally. So we will give you the complete version of this. You'll see 2 reels initially, but we'll give you the completed version so you can watch it in its entirety. That'll be up probably tomorrow sometime. Squib kick, that's going to do it right there. Time has run out unless they can take this home. Defense is there. There's the lateral. And the runner is still alive, but they're going to call this one dead. And Northridge walks off with a 1-point victory. 13-12 is your final. So we'll do a very quick summary, and then we're going to call it. Oh, wait a minute. It looks like we're going to see what's going on here. They're going to pull the teams back. And we're going to get another creative officiating call here this evening. Don Edick talking to the Stripes, trying to get some kind of clarification. So it looks like they may get 1 play, meaning the Wolverines. You can see the coaches doing their job and very quickly. So it looks like they're going to try to. So they're calling a delay on the kickoff. Interesting call. So we'll see if they do another kick here. I think that's what's going to happen. And the beat goes on here from District 6 Stadium. We'll get... Had trouble understanding that, but nonetheless, we're going to get another kick here. So there's no time on the clock left. That's where we're at. And we're going to get another kick. Now, it's going to be pushed back to the 25-yard line. So a little better field position here for the Wolverines on the kick. So very important now that the kicking team does a very good job of defending this. You don't want to let any loose runs here. It's going to be a squibber. It's going to go sideline. Going to go out of bounds. There's the flag. Coach Edick not happy about that. You can see him displaying some emotion here on the sideline. So we're going to do this again. Number 3. We're setting some records here tonight, I think. I think so. This is going to be one of those record-setting nights tonight. But it's been fun. Again, I want to thank our cameraman here tonight. I'm going to say it right now. So the ball out of bounds, I see what they're doing. So because the ball went out of bounds, they're going to re-kick this. I've not heard this before. But because there's no time on the clock, they have to replay the play. I see what they're doing. Wow, we're going to have to go into the rule books and look this one up because I've never seen this one before. So we're going to do this again. This is number 3 here. Maybe 3 strikes and we're out. I'm not sure. Nonetheless, it's Northridge with a 1-point lead, 13-12. Okay, we're going to do the squibber. There we go. I see good idea. They're going to take him down. And now the game is over. Okay, good idea. So originally they were trying to do a squibber that went deep. It went out of bounds and they had to extend it. So Northridge with a huge victory and really a character game by both teams. Both teams did very well to weather this storm and weather the mistakes because of the storm. That's really what it's been. The final score is 13-12, and you can see the teams and coaches congratulating each other. Good victory here for Northridge. They go on to a 3-1. And we'll go ahead and take a short timeout, and then we'll come back and we'll do a brief cap. So you're watching the game of the week, 13-12 final score. We'll be back for the post game.
Some things just never change. Crazy work weeks, hectic schedules, and hometown traditions.
We love our customers at Hayes Market.
Hayes Market, a Johnstown tradition since the 1950s, where you can count on the freshest produce, meats, baked goods, and food selection. With great customer service. Hayes Market, proud sponsors of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Open every day of the week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 970-587-5496. That's 970-587-5496. At Milliken Animal Clinic, our purpose is to serve the residents of Northern Colorado by providing exceptional, affordable veterinary care for their furry family members. Our clients will always be treated with respect, dignity, and compassion as if they were our own. It is our desire to make lasting relationships with our clients and to be there for our patients through every stage of life. Plus reasonably priced pet food and supplies. Milliken Animal Clinic, affordable veterinary care. Call 970-518-1252.
Welcome back to District 6 Stadium. This is the post-game show, and in case you missed it, wow, what a game this has been. It really, to summarize, it has been a game of character, weathering a wet, soggy night. I know that sounds like the beginning of a cheesy novel, a wet, soggy night and cold night. but really it has been Northridge who did do the final weathering. And oddly enough, really the difference in the ball game was when the Wolverines, with seconds left, and we're talking about 5 to 11 seconds left in this ball game, chose to take a safety versus kicking the ball. If they had kicked the ball, that would have used probably more time on the clock. And, of course, then the Wolverines could have gone on to win a 2-point victory. But as you saw the ending there where there was a blocked kick. And then, of course, Northridge came up with the ball. And then it was the Northridge Grizzlies with a kick of their own to win the ball game in the rain, literally with seconds left. And then we saw some very creative play calling as far as the kickoff return, and we got a chance to see literally the Northridge kicker get 3 attempts. So that was really creative. So final score here from District 6, 13-12. We want to thank our sponsors tonight, Express Employment Professionals. If you're looking for a great job, give them a call. They're on 2711 West 10th Street. They've been in the area for 40 years. That's right. Kathy Egan is the owner and still goes in weekly. You can talk to Kathy. Of course, she's seen a lot of changes in the employment sector here in Greeley and put literally hundreds of thousands of people to work over the 40 years, and I'm not exaggerating when we say that. So go say hello to the fine staff there. You can give them a call at 970-353-8430. Also, we want to thank Lisa Willis of Caldwell Realty. Again, the realtor who works 24/7 a day, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. She is a great person to work with, very personable. She does a lot of great deals in both Weld and Larimer County. You can reach her also at 970-420-1814. So that's going to do it here from District 6. Final score, 13-12. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Greeley West against Greeley Central here from District 6. So for Warren Ray, Dean Popechoy, and Dan Diaz, I'm Mike Ray, bidding you a pleasant good evening from District 6 Stadium. We'll see you next time.